Growing up, I always struggled with money because my family didn't have it, my friends didn't have it, and everyone I surrounded myself with did not have money. I'm not gonna waste any of your time. We're gonna get right into it because I want you to make the money that you deserve. Number one is conservation mode. And the financial world likes to really focus in on saving money. And this is the worst thing that you could do if you're actually trying to make really good money. Because the biggest problem with saving money is that you can only reduce your savings so low. Like you're gonna be clipping coupons to save like 10 cents. Like it's just not worth it, I'm telling you. There's times where you need to spend money. You need to take risks in order to make more money or save time because time is money. And there's two ways to think about this. You've got wealth preservation and you've got wealth creation. Wealth preservation is making sure that you're saving up that money and you're investing it into stocks and anything that you're going to be able to get in the future. Okay? And then wealth creation is investing in yourself and doing things right now that are gonna help you.
So I'm in my warehouse right now and I invested in this giant mixer that cost $15,000. And if I hadn't invested in this and I hadn't taken that chance, that risk, I wouldn't have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I wouldn't have this whole warehouse right now. And what I'm trying to say to you is to invest in yourself so that you can invest into things like this.
Because when you're making money, you must understand this. Money moves fast. It's like energy. You have to move with it so that way you can make more of it. If you stay still and you stay stuck and you save your money when money's coming in, you're not gonna be making as much. You gotta step out of your comfort zone. You have to take on big, scary risks sometimes because those risks can end up getting you more money and saving you time, which is gonna end up making you more money. And next up, we've got number two, not stepping into your 2.0 version. And if you're around here a lot, you hear me saying it all the time. Do this as often as possible. Step into the 2.0 version of you. And some easy ways you can do that are by going to the library and picking up some nonfiction books, watching educational content on YouTube, buying healthy foods instead of junk food, doing things that are gonna add value into your life instead of sucking it away from you. You really wanna focus on what can I do to be the best version of myself? That is the 2.0 version of you. And maybe you're wondering like, how is that keeping me poor? Because when you start out and you're working on a business, right? No one wants to work with you. You aren't good. You're not good at anything. And in order to get good at something, you have to be taking care of yourself. You have to be feeding into yourself and doing the best that you can for yourself so that you can be good enough for people to want to work with you. You can be good enough to level up in your business. And since you've got no experience, you've got to try really, really hard to get things rolling and off the ground and building that momentum. Then once you start making some money and you really are building some good momentum, you can start asking yourself bigger questions. How do I make this go faster? How can I get people to help me with this? Are there any tools that can help me move forward? Next up, we've got number three, dumpster fire brain. And this all starts when you're in school. You're told to remember things so that you can get an A on your test. And that's really bad. You're not supposed to be remembering things. You're supposed to be using your brain for being creative and problem solving because there's this thing, it's called technology, and you can look anything up and get your results that way. You don't need to remember everything. Like, for instance, back in biology or whatever, they told us to remember the certain kind of rocks, right? Metamorphous rock, igneous rock, sedimentary rock. When do you need that, right? There's so many things we learned in school that we just don't really need to be remembering. And you gotta unlearn that shit and understand that it's not important to memorize things. And a great way to do this, honestly, is by getting things out of your brain. I like to call it like unloading your brain. And the first easy, simple way that you can do this is by having a digital calendar. You could have a traditional calendar too. Either one is fine. Just get things out of your brain and onto a piece of paper instead. That's the biggest point here. You do not want to be clogging up your brain with appointments, birthdays, special events that you're looking forward to. You don't want to have to remember these things. You should not be remembering these things. You should be writing them down and getting them out of your brain. And another way that you can get things out of your brain and have them somewhere where you can reference them is called a second brain. And there's this guy, he's really cool. His name's Tiago Forte. And I learned the whole pair method from him. It's really simple and easy, honestly. And he explains it way better than I ever could. And this is basically just having a place to store your recipes, places you want to go, things that you want to buy, anything that you just want to take a look at later on and just have to look at anytime you want. That's the second brain for you in a nutshell. And honestly, it really helps me. I know a lot of us have issues spending money on things that we shouldn't, right? I actually have this whole list of things that I either want or need, and I decide whether or not I actually want them. I let them sit there for a while, and then I can say, oh, I actually still want this thing, or I delete it because I'm like, I don't want this anymore. I highly suggest you do that because you're going to end up saving so much money if you log in the things that you actually want to buy instead of just impulsively buying them, and then come back to it and say, oh, I didn't really want this thing after all. And the third way to unload your brain so you don't have a dumpster fire brain is to manage your tasks. Get things onto a planner. You could have a digital planner or a traditional planner and just have anything that you need to do in there, okay? Somebody you need to call, maybe you need to make an appointment later on. There's things that come up, just put it in your planner. Know what you're supposed to do instead of relying on your brain to remember what to do, because it just doesn't work. Like, how many times have you tried to rely on your brain to remember something and it's failed you? So just take yourself seriously, take your life seriously and plan your life out, and you're gonna end up getting more done and you're gonna end up making more money that way instead of always trying to think like, what was it, that thing that I was supposed to do, right? Just write it down. Next up, we have number 4, and that's waiting. Everyone loves to move at snail speed. And yes, this is gonna sound like a paradox actually. I do believe that you should take time to really enjoy things and be mindful, but when it comes to money, you gotta move fast. I said it before, money moves fast, so move with it. Do things that are gonna make you money. Take action. Stop being afraid. Stop moving slow. Stop with the analysis paralysis. It's only hurting you. And in order to get money, you have to take risks and you gotta move. You gotta stop being afraid. Because honestly, I've been there before. I've been in your shoes. If you're thinking to yourself, like, I really do need to just get started. Why can't I get started? It's a very normal feeling. A lot of people feel this way. I've had my employees actually tell me, like, I'll get started my YouTube channel when I'm finished with school, or I'll get started on my business when I'm out of my parents' house so I don't disturb them. And all that's doing is hurting you. It's actually a really unfair advantage if you still live with your parents because you don't have to pay bills and take care of things. They're taking care of everything for you. So take advantage of it. That's how I started my business, and I'm so grateful I was able to take advantage of that. So really, it's just a blessing in disguise, honestly. And another big problem with someday is, unfortunately, someday is where a lot of dreams actually go to die. So don't let your dream die. Stop saying someday, one day. Just do it today and get started. And honestly, what stands between you and what you want is the willingness to be patient and wait for the results to happen. But here's the catch. You have to become impatient with how quickly you go from idea to execution. That's where the magic happens. This is something I can personally help you with, and we can get you moving instead of staying stuck and feeling afraid. I can get you feeling confident and actually going after your big goal, whether it be a YouTube channel, starting a business. I can work with you and we can get you moving. So scroll down right now, click on the top link in the description. Let's keep moving. We've got number 5, it's wearing too many hats. And there's this weird idea floating around that you're supposed to do everything yourself. You're supposed to know how to do everything. And honestly, it's pretty uncool. It doesn't make you look cool. It doesn't make you look interesting. It's just making your life harder, and it's stopping you from making more money, honestly. Because what it's doing is slowing you down. And this one hit me really hard because I really did end up doing everything myself when I first started out with my business. I didn't know that you could ask people for help. And once I finally stepped out of my comfort zone and I was like, I gotta ask for help, honestly. I just can't be doing all of this myself anymore. It's too much. I finally asked friends and family, and I realized, oh, this is something I should have been doing the whole time. I didn't know because it wasn't normalized, right? It's not normalized to ask for help. It's normalized to do everything yourself. I don't know why, but you really shouldn't be doing everything yourself. It's just making everything take so much longer. Basically, there's 2 versions of you. The one version of you that's doing everything, right? Like I had said before, you're wearing too many hats. And then the second version of you that is just focusing on 2 things and saying fuck it to the rest of it. Because when you focus on what's most important, which is making more money, you're going to make more money. And you also want to make sure that you're focusing on things that you actually enjoy. And I'm going to talk more about that in just a sec. But I want you to understand that everything else has to go, honestly. Like I said, fuck everything else. Just focus on how to make more money and things that you enjoy. Now, obviously, most people don't have that much money, so you got to think of the easy things first. What is it that you can take off that hat for? Is it a photographer? Probably not. That's expensive, right? Think about like what I just said before too with friends and family. Well, what can friends and family do for me? They can clean up for me. And that's the thing, like don't ask them to do that and have them do it for free because they'll do it once and never again, right? Take it seriously and pay them a little bit, right? Or do a favor for them. It's like that saying where it's like, rub my back and I'll rub your back. Do things for people and have them do things for you in return if you don't have a lot of money. And that's the thing. You clicked on this video, you're probably struggling. So start with friends and family. That's what I did. When I did my business at first and I needed ingredients, right? I would ask my dad, like, hey, can you go pick me up some baking soda because I make bath bombs. It's a bath and body business. And it was fine. Like, he didn't even care anyway because he'd go to the grocery store and BJ's, the little wholesale place, right? He would just pick up the baking soda right there and no big deal. Simple little things like that too. Think about things that you know you really don't need to be doing and that somebody else could easily do for you. It's called delegation. And the more you delegate, the more you have time to focus on the big important things that other people can't do for you, the things that only you can do. And we're lucky too. We live in the modern world. We can have Target drop off stuff for us. You can have groceries get dropped off for you. Honestly, so many different things, right? I know that some of the things cost money, but honestly, most of those things, they don't really cost a lot of money. Try it out, see how it feels, and you're gonna get pretty addicted to that feeling. But don't not do anything when you're waiting for your groceries to get delivered or something that you needed from Target, whatever it may be that you order online and get delivered to your door. Take that time and actually put yourself to work still. Don't relax, don't take it easy. If you actually wanna make money and you don't wanna be poor, don't just sit back and have a good time unless you're in the time where you can do that, right? And you know when it's enough is enough for the day. But get work done if you have a scheduled delivery. And a good indicator of whether or not you actually got enough work done for the day is to ask yourself, like, do I really feel like I did? Does my brain hurt? Did I really go all in on the thing that was in front of me, the task at hand for the day, the biggest task of the day? Did I complete it? Did I get some of it done at least? That's when you know it's time to wind down. Because time is money, so spend it wisely. Simple as that. And up next, we've got number 6, which is ignoring the big 3. And for some reason, a lot of people think that health is lame and boring, so I'll keep this brief. But this is pretty important stuff here. If you ignore the big 3, which is eating junk food like tasty cakes, ice cream, pizza, all that garbage that is literally draining your battery for the day, how do you expect to make money if you feel like shit and you can't get out of bed, right? And then you've got the next one here is not getting proper sleep, not going to bed at the right time, staying up till 2, 3 a.m., binging that Netflix show that you love, or playing video games, or doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing, that you're up too late and you know you should be in bed. You're not gonna have that energy for the next day. You're gonna feel drained. You're gonna feel like garbage, right? And the biggest one is not exercising. Why is it that exercising is so frowned upon? Why is it seen as such a struggle to go for a walk? It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. Like, these big 3 things are gonna help you make more money. They're gonna have you feeling better so that you can get more work done. And if you neglect them, you're not going to want to get the work done. You're gonna keep staying stuck. You're gonna keep saying, tomorrow I'll do it. Tomorrow I'll get started, right? And the funny thing is with the big 3 is the more you do it, the easier it gets and the more you actually want to do it because your body craves it. If you go to bed at a certain time, you're gonna want to go to bed at the same time again because your body is tired, right? it's gonna signal to you like, hey, I really liked this. Like, let's go to bed again early. And once you get into the rhythm of exercising and you may hit the gym, right? And you start getting those gains, you're gonna see yourself in the mirror and you're gonna be like, wow, I love my body. I don't hate my body anymore. I want you to understand that when you work out, you're gonna have that energy boost and you're gonna have the aesthetic. You're gonna look good. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna glow from the inside out, and you're gonna wanna do things that are on your list of things to do instead of pushing them off. It's just as simple as that. It's a simple, easy thing. Up next, we've got number 7, shiny object syndrome. And this one can really screw you over. Like clothes, purses, high-end makeup, anything that is pretty expensive and you know it's just to impress people that you don't like, right? It's not actually for you. It's not really adding value into your life. Or maybe it is just a little bit, but probably not enough, right? You need things that are actually gonna add really good value into your life. Like I had said earlier in the video, this is important. Just read nonfiction books and learn, add value into your life that way. Buy courses, invest in programs that are actually going to help you start that business or start that YouTube channel or do something that you've been dreaming and wishing you had the knowledge, right? But you keep saying to yourself like, I don't have the money for that. Maybe it's because you're paying for all this stuff that isn't really helping you, right? Is that perfume actually gonna help you make money? Probably not. Is a course gonna help you make money? Yeah, of course. It's gonna help you gain the knowledge of the skill that you're trying to obtain. And that's the thing. So many people pay for these things on borrowed money, on credit cards, and they're getting a ton of debt for it. And that's the thing, the interest rates on credit cards, they're pretty high. So is it really worth it? Is it really gonna help you if you keep stacking up more and more debt? No, of course not. So honestly, just do yourself a favor, and if you've got a problem, find the source of the problem. Is it you going through your emails and seeing all the promotional things, right? Unsubscribe from that shit. Because I used to be you. I used to fall for that trap until I became a business owner and I realized like, well, this is how I make my sales. I make sales through emails. And that's a big thing. A lot of people do. And if you unsubscribe from it, you're not even thinking about it. It's not even in your mind. Out of sight, out of mind. So get rid of the source. I know emails is a big one because it was for me. Just unsubscribe and stop feeding into consumer junk. It's not doing you any good. I promise you. Let's keep going. We've got number 8, which is thinking small. And you might be thinking, well, everything's just such an easy click away. Why would I want to struggle to grow a business or struggle with working out? Everything I need is on my phone. But that's the thing. Everything that you truly desire that's actually fulfilling is on the other side of hard work. And that's what I learned in this book, The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, which I highly recommend you get this book. It's so good. And the biggest thing to understand here is that every time you say no to distractions, you're saying yes to your dreams. You're going all in on your dreams and you're allowing yourself to fully focus in with zero distractions. Just eliminate everything, right? And focus in on that big thing that you want to get taken care of. Getting caught up in instant gratification keeps you chasing things that are quick and easy. But the problem with that is you're not building anything substantial towards your future dream. When we choose delayed gratification, like reading a book instead, we are thinking longer term. We are building towards our dream and putting in hard work so that we can reap the rewards. And you want to do instant gratification every once in a while, that's fine. I'm not telling you to be like this heartless, soulless person. I still use my phone, right? I'm still on social media. I'm not saying you delete social media. Social media is actually a really good thing because you can make a lot of fucking money on it, right? But the thing is, if you prioritize delayed gratification and you put the work in and you do the hard things, you are gonna actually get where you need to be, where you truly desire to be instead of just settling. Because when you do that, you're gonna be playing a different game than most people. Most people play that game of instant gratification and they're glued to their phones. And when you realize that that's what a lot of people are doing and you take a step back and you think to yourself, that's why people are stuck in the 9-to-5. That's why people aren't chasing their dreams, because they're choosing instant gratification over delayed gratification. And that brings me to number 9, which is disrespecting yourself. Every time you do that, when you're choosing instant gratification over delayed gratification, You are disrespecting yourself. And I want you to think for a second, think back over the past few days. How much were you valuing your time? Well, we've got two things. We already covered how to get people to help you, right? But the other one is how we spend our time, the things that we're actually working on and how we're working on them. It's being fully invested in what you're doing and making sure that you're getting the most out of everything that you do. And so I've got one of my favorite words to share with you. It's a simple, easy word. No. Just say no more often. When somebody asks me, hey, Mikeland, you want to go shopping? No. Hey, Mikeland, I've got this crazy business idea that I want to share with you. No. Hey, Mikeland, can you help me out with this thing that is really big and I can't understand what the hell I'm doing and I need all your help and advice, right? No. When you say no, you're respecting yourself. I've even had businesses and brands that have wanted to work with me on this channel and my business. And you probably guessed it, right? I said no because I value my time and I respect myself. Every time you say no, you're saying yes to your dream, right? You have to respect your time. You got to stop saying yes to everything. And friends and family, they may think you're pretentious for this. And at the end of the day, are they going to help you get to your dreams and goals? Are they going to help you get where you really, truly want to be? And if that answer is yes, then say yes to those people that you really love, that you really care about, okay? Don't say yes to every little thing is what I'm trying to say. You know the things that you are going to take forever doing with them, and it's just going to stop you from doing the thing that you really know you should be doing. Say no more often, respect yourself, and actually see yourself getting more done that way. Because when we say yes to every single thing on our list, that leaves us little to no time to actually do the things that we know we should be doing. And if you're spending time with the right people, the people that want to see you succeed and they want to do whatever it's going to take to get you where you need to be, and the people that you actually care about, they're going to respect it more. They're going to understand. The people that don't understand and get pissed off are the people that you kind of have to snip out of your life anyway. And the sooner you do it, the easier it gets, right? And the more you are going to free up your time, because I can guarantee you, you're saying yes to way too many things right now. So start simple and easy. Like, let's say you have a boss that's always asking you to come in and stay late, and you don't want to stay late. You want to use those hours after work to work on something for yourself, but you always feel guilty and you always say yes. Start saying no. Simple as that. There's other jobs out there if you end up getting let go of, but we both know that boss is probably taking advantage of you because you have people-pleasing behaviors. So stop with it. Just take yourself seriously. Respect yourself, respect your time, and the people that care and love you are going to stick around, and the ones that don't, good riddance. They didn't belong there anyway. And listen, if you want help going over what I went through in this video, you want to dive deep into these problems, you want to figure out how to break limiting beliefs, which is something I can actually help you with. I have a link in the description. You can click that and you will get a free download of how to break limiting beliefs. But if you want to take a deeper level on this and you really want to have somebody that's going to hold you accountable, I can do that. We can work together. I can have you making progress towards your goals and finally getting that business, have that foundation that you're looking for, feel confident, get things done, and finally feel fulfilled in life. Because I know right now you probably don't have somebody sitting next to you and you just don't know how to get started and you're scared. I can help you do it, all right? Scroll down right now, click on the top link in the description to book a call with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.